I'm here to talk about the Venus gate today. That is actually happening in a few minutes. So this is when the moon and Venus conjunct, and we're in the morning star phase. So in the myth of Inanna, this is when she's releasing pieces of her garments that no longer serve her. So we're at the heart chakra today. And it's no surprise to me because I feel like I was feeling this energy a couple of days ago already. So whenever we're letting go of something in a chakra, it's usually freeing, right? Like it's in what gets stored in the heart. So much, right? Like grief. I also think of the lungs with this chakra. And there's a lot happening in the sky that is like really accentuating this energy and this placement. And it's putting a huge emphasis on our really, really deep feelings. It could be ancestral. It could be from this life. It feels very karmic for me and very ancestral and deep. And this is because we've got this Venus gate opposite Jupiter, and there's a whole lot of other things squaring Pluto, but there's a lot of really beautiful harmonious energy as well that is supporting us in healing as we release. So we have Pallas Athene, an asteroid goddess, conjunct this Venus gate, and she's like a master healer. And in Scorpio, she sees through everything. She can get just like right to the root of what's going on. And so she's there to help us with figuring out like, where does this stem from? And she also has this way of, Scorpio is such a healing energy. It's really intense, but it's also really beautiful because it's a water sign. So in ways it can be gentle. It's like gently fierce. I don't know a better way to describe it really. But the Venus gate is sextiling Mercury in Capricorn right now. And then we've got it squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So what I'm feeling is this review of like, what is at your core? What is in your heart that needs to be released? Where are these like really deep hurts? And then how can we make new agreements with ourselves that allow us to stand in our power and to move forward in a way that is for our highest good and is really nice to our heart, where we're holding compassion and love for ourselves. You know, we've been living through this paradigm of sacrifice and sacrificing ourselves to help others. And we've sort of lost this feminine nourishing quality of prioritizing the nourishment of the self before we are completely depleted, you know? And something else that came up is the Sabian symbol. The Sabian symbol is really interesting for this Venus gate. It's a gold rush, and let me look here. Longing for more. Greed is a distortion of a deeper and more wholesome appetite for increasing our life experience. So it's really interesting when you look at like the economy right now and inflation. And I know like there's a lot of people who are probably having trouble with everything, you know, the price of everything increasing. And also at the same time, I was talking to my husband about this a little bit. He was letting me know that crypto went way up, like Bitcoin went way up. So if you invested in like the alternative system a while ago, you're doing pretty well right now. And I think that's such an interesting metaphor for everything we're going through, of these like old structures breaking down and building of the new. And and it takes some learning to kind of understand how all of that works. I'm not super versed in it. My husband's more interested in it. But the point I'm getting to as well is like, for us to, I think it's really important for us to remember gratitude at this moment and also release, like what can we let go of and what really matters, so that we can make space for what that abundance truly is. You know, what is abundance for you? Is it just money? Is it just things? Or is it like freedom? Is it enjoying like really good food? Is it, you know, anointing yourself in essential oils? I mean, is it love in your life? I think that's an interesting thing to really look at during this heart chakra gate. And I think there's an opportunity to make more space to receive. So I'm going to pull some cards. I always like to pull from my rose deck on the Venus gates. And, ooh, I'm going to keep shuffling. That was too many cards to fall out. Something else I've been exploring as well, how I was talking about how ancestral this gate feels. I've been exploring the bloodlines through the Bible, like the genealogy, because I wasn't raised with the Bible, but for whatever reason, anything I read about it, like books written sort of based off of the stories of the Bible, any like memories I have on my own, like trigger something really deep within. So I'm tracing what's there, right? And it's been really interesting to trace back the lineages and see where, you know, we talk about Abrahamic religions. I didn't know, where did Abraham come from? I wanted to know. And so I started researching this, and it's just fascinating. And it makes me think of this gold rush symbol too. And I even think about going back before the Bible, like antediluvian times, like supposedly the age of Atlantis, the times where it feels like it was more of like this Egyptian and Sumerian type of culture. It wasn't even called that then, but I feel like those were the people who were living during that time. And I think of these myths of the Anunnaki and how they came to this planet to extract gold, and how a lot of our religions and our power structures are based on who has the most, like who has the most resources, who has the most power. And I think that we're dissolving this paradigm of putting people on a pedestal because they're rich or because they're famous or because they're abusing their power. It's almost like this abusive relationship. And it goes back to a lot of parental stuff too. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but let me pull a card from the Venus deck. Ooh, release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all change. So everything I'm talking about right here, it feels like we're just being asked to release and to break free in the ways that we can individually. And I'm not sure what that looks like for everybody, but I also, let's just pull some more cards. I wanted to pull some that felt ancestral to me today. So I have the Magdalene Oracle here, by Elaine Kalila Dowdy. Let's see what the Magdalenes have for us on this Venus gate. And I love the back of these cards too. Actually, I'm wearing my my Seed of Life earrings because I feel like this is also a powerful time to manifest. Like when we release, it's like that phoenix, right? Rising from the ashes, like whatever we're burning, the ashes become fertile nutrients for whatever seeds are being planted. And as I find myself going through really heavy emotions, it helps me to create in those moments as well. To like, as I'm feeling, I love to like transmute those feelings into maybe a really nourishing meal. Maybe it's cleaning my house. Maybe it's writing poetry. Anything that just helps me like dig into it and transmute it while I'm feeling it really helps. I love this full bloom. And this really speaks to the abundance and the creation. And isn't that an interesting juxtaposition? Release the petals in full bloom. It's like the beginning and the end all at the same time. And that's what Pluto's all about. It's all about releasing and transforming. I want to see what Egyptian god wants to come through for us. And that full bloom really makes me feel that abundance as well. It's almost like the more we heal, the more space we make for the new things to come in, right? The more we let go of that's no longer serving us. Pita, skill. And I believe Pita is all about the word, speaking what we want into existence. Let me double check though. Let's see what this deck says. God and patron of craftsmen and architects, as well as the knowledge and know-how. He is an engineer, bricklayer, blacksmith, and artist. He is depicted as a mummified man with a beard holding the Ankh scepter, the symbol of life, and the Jed staff of power, a symbol of stability. Pita provides you with a state of effortless concentration, bringing you lightness and familiar skill. He will make it easy for you to perform all manner of operations. Under this influence and through serene objectivity, you have the chance to transform your work into play and develop the power of mental development and the ability to transform things, or the capacity to awaken passions, but also to dominate them. I love this so much because I was feeling like, because this is the heart chakra, I was feeling the feathers. I have my feather deck here because of the scales of Ma'at weighing the feather against the heart, lightening our hearts. And I love how he's talking about lightening the heart and also reiterating that point about creating from this place of effortlessness. It's almost like, do you ever notice when you clean your house how much easier things feel? It's kind of the same. It's the same thing with our emotional body, our mental body. And it kind of follows the messages I've been getting lately of just like, how could I lean into ease, and how could I actually lean into receiving what it is that I want, and actually creating what I want to create, like letting go of anything that's been holding me back, you know? And sometimes those things can lie deep in the heart, you know? So let's pull a feather card. And I have one more after this. Let's see here. Oh, this is too perfect. The vulture. Accept the inevitable, let go of the past, and welcome a rebirth to begin. The vulture is such a beautiful bird that comes around and cleans up what's dying. And then that's what is used as its fuel. And so, again, it's reiterating that transformational experience, that transmutation of base metals into gold. This comes back to the Sabian symbol, a gold rush. We have so much in the world that is inviting us to allow our hearts to crack open, to ignite this new creativity, to help us, you know, bounce off of. And it's interesting. I feel like it's hard for me to say it in a way where it doesn't sound, I want to be sensitive here, but when we have such heartbreak, it's an invitation for our hearts to grow wider and to hold more and to use the feelings as inspiration to create the new, because the bad things that happen in life they can be things we learn from, or they can be things that destroy us. And it's ultimately up to us whether we decide to use it as something to create something new from, or to let it take us over. And I love how this, I'm just picking up the water deck after I say that, because I kind of saw like, am I going to take this fallen tree and make a canoe and like, you know, wade through these waters, or am I just going to sink and drown? It's kind of like that choice point. So let's see how we can use the waters right now. And there's a lot of water energy with the emotions. Woo! I love this. The waterfall. Inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. I love it. We're all worthy of abundance. The earth is inherently abundant, and we're all worthy of it. We're all worthy of our creativity. And the dissolving of this old paradigm is also helping us to stop giving our power away and externalizing it, and to really step into our own power. So I love that message. And look, it's like she's rising underneath this strong waterfall. It's like it's just falling all around her, and it's such a cleansing energy too. Absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Venus gate. I hope you're ready to release and accept this gold rush that is just waiting for you. All right. Love you guys.